Well, I know you're going to be blessed by this next speaker, is Nia Renee. And she's from Denver, Colorado. And her topic is the Dragonfly Effect, redefining your power and stepping into your purpose. I'm excited. Her people that she reaches is survivors of narcissistic abuse, trauma-informed professionals, and advocates seeking strategies to rebuild self-trust, set boundaries, and create emotionally safe relationships. Let's give an LET worship. I'm going to say it again. Let's give an LET welcome for Nia Renee!
Hey, how are we feeling? So as he said, I am Coach Nia Renee. I am a narcissistic abuse recovery coach. I help abuse survivors break free from emotional wounds and build thriving relationships deep-rooted in self-trust and intention. So let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered how a dragonfly was formed? Have you ever wondered about the evolution of a dragonfly? Have you ever thought about how the dragonfly relates to your story at all? No? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about dragonflies, the ancient, resilient ones that have been here for over 300 million years, and those that carry a story that we don't quite talk about enough. See, dragonflies don't become beautiful overnight. They go through something called an incomplete metamorphosis, which means there's no neat cocoon stage like a butterfly. There's no clear glow-up moment. It's messy, it's gradual, it's raw. They begin life underwater as nymphs, no wings, just survival. And here's the part that most people don't know. They can stay in that underwater phase for 2 to 5 years, depending on where they live. That's most of their lives, hidden, unseen, molting through life in the shadows, shedding layer after layer of themselves just to grow. Some nymphs molt up to 17 times before they ever take flight. And then, one day, they crawl out of the water, climb up a reed or a rock, and that's when transformation happens. That's when the wings unfold, wings they didn't even know they were forming all along. And that's us. How many of us have felt unseen, hidden in the dark? Exactly. Me too. Some of us are still underwater, still in the dark, still shedding things we thought we needed, identities we wore just to be loved, roles we played to stay safe, survival patterns we called personality. Some of us are still in the muck of it, where grief, trauma, illness, betrayal, and self-doubt live, where no one claps for you for just getting through the day, where it feels like everyone else is flying and you're just simply trying to breathe. Guess what? You're not behind. You're becoming. Because even in the dark, even when no one sees it, you're molting, shedding versions of yourself that were never yours to carry, growing wings you didn't even know you were coming. And when the right time comes, when the moment aligns, you're going to rise. See, I didn't go through a transformation. I lived in complete metamorphosis. Let me explain. I was born on April 25th, 1993 at 8:25 in the morning, but I wasn't due until July the 7th. I came 2.5 months early. My name literally had a job before I could walk. Nia means purpose in Swahili. Renee means born again in French. And I would live out this name time and time again. Because I wasn't just born once. Let me tell you a quick story. I was reborn here in Detroit, Michigan, on October 2nd, 2019, in this very city, in this very state, at St. John's Hospital. I had my first of 6 brain surgeries. I remember waking up in that hospital bed, barely able to open my eyes more than a sliver. But even in that tiny fraction of light, I knew something was different. Everything was louder. Everything smelled stronger. And for the first time, my body felt alive. It was like the world had cracked open, like I'd broken the surface after years of being submerged, like I was feeling life through skin I had never fully owned before. It wasn't peaceful. It was overwhelming, but it was real. From April 25th, 1993 to October 2nd, 2019, I had been in incomplete metamorphosis. Just like the dragonfly, I had spent most of my life underwater, molting, shedding, adapting, surviving. No one saw the process, but beneath the surface, transformation was happening. The first brain surgery was my emergence, but it wasn't the end. I would go on to have 5 more brain surgeries, making it a total of 6. And each one felt like those early stages of a dragonfly's adult life. Because even after it crawls out of the water and its wings unfold, it's not ready. It's vulnerable. It's wobbly. It's wet-winged and unsure. It had to sit in stillness, learning how to be something it's never been before. That was me. Every time I woke up in another hospital bed, weak in pain, wondering what now, I didn't feel powerful. I didn't feel transformed. I felt incapacitated. I was confused and questioning what it all meant. What was all of this for? But something kept pulling me forward. Because even in those moments when I was at my lowest, something inside me refused to let go of the idea that there had to be more. After I survived 6 brain surgeries, I woke up again, not in the same hospital, not in the same city as my rebirth in Detroit, but with the same questions hanging in the air. That same sterile stillness, the same blinding overhead lights, the same war fighting inside of my body, but this time I felt determined. I was weaker by the second, but stronger by the moment. It wasn't just about surviving anymore. It was about becoming. It was about meaning. It was about finally trusting that everything I had endured was shaping me into who I was born to be. That moment on the other side of my 6th brain surgery was the beginning of my flight. So yes, 6 brain surgeries. Now y'all can laugh at this, okay? I have had more brain surgeries than a reality TV reboot show, okay, that has cast members, all right? But that's okay. And somehow I still get told, but you don't look sick. You look good. I know. Right. But looking good doesn't mean I'm not fighting battles you can't see. It just means I learned how to contour my trauma and set it with sarcasm and a setting spray. For a long time, I was a high-functioning version of broken. I kept showing up, smiling, grinding, pushing, and people praised me for it. But deep down, I wasn't living. I was surviving the medical trauma, surviving the grief of losing who I used to be, and surviving what I now call relationship residue, the emotional exhaustion that comes from trying to be loved by people who needed you broken in order to feel whole. Some of the deepest wounds I carried weren't from scalpels or incisions. They were from people who told me I love you with control in their voice, from environments that taught me to question my reality, to shrink my truth, to silence my intuition. So what was my power and purpose in all of this? Because I didn't feel powerful. I didn't feel purposeful. I had mistaken performance for power, thinking if I smiled enough, pushed through enough, sacrificed enough, I'd finally feel whole. But I realized power isn't performance. Power is permission. Let me say that one more time. Power is permission. Permission to rest, to speak up, to not be okay, and still know I deserve softness and safety and purpose. Purpose isn't something you chase, it's something you return to. Stepping into my power meant taking back my voice. It meant trusting my intuition, even when others tried to manipulate me into a path that didn't feel like mine. It meant setting boundaries that made others uncomfortable but made me feel safe. And the best part is I'm supposed to be here to tell you this. Trusting yourself is enough. Let me say that one more time. Trusting yourself is enough. Now listen, I know I beat the dead horse. I've had 6 brain surgeries, but that's literally made me open-minded, okay? So if anybody is qualified to rethink their life, reclaim their power, and rebuild from scratch, it's me. So I want to leave you with the 3-step process I use to help my clients reclaim their life. 1, acknowledge and accept the truth. Your story, it deserves to be told and honored, and you can't heal what you keep minimizing. Your pain was real, so was your survival, so is your healing. 2, discover who you are now. Not the version of you that had to keep the peace, play small, or beg for love. The version that chose to get up one more time, that version is sacred and they're still unfolding. And 3, build thriving relationships rooted in self-trust and intention, because we do not chase chaos anymore. We don't confuse pain with passion. We don't repeat patterns. We reprogram them. We choose connections that feel safe, reciprocal, and rooted in who we are, not who we had to be to survive. When you trust yourself, you stop second guessing. And guess what? When you stop second guessing, you take flight. I'm Coach Nia Renee. I'm a certified narcissistic abuse recovery coach. You can find me at How to Love a Battered Woman or www.howtoloveabatteredwoman.com. Now let me leave you with this. Drink some water, get some rest, and don't let nobody's dusty ass child treat you any kind of way. Thank you. Thank you.